and welcome to the Mindful English Learner, the podcast where we explore the art and science of language learning together. I'm your host, Ben, and I am so excited about today's topic. If you've ever found yourself stuck translating sentences in your head before you speak, feeling that frustrating mental delay, then this episode is for you. We're talking about the holy grail of fluency, how to think directly in English. And to help us unpack this, I'm thrilled to be joined by language psychologist and expert, Dr. Anya Sharma. Welcome to the show, Anya.
Thank you so much for having me, Ben. It's a pleasure to be here. This is a topic I'm truly passionate about.
Wonderful. So, Anya, let's start with the big questions so many of our listeners are asking. What does it actually mean to think in English? Is it some magical switch that fluent speakers have?
It's not magic, Ben. I can assure you of that. Though it can feel like it when you first experience it. Essentially, thinking in English is the process of using English as your internal language of thought. It means that the connection between a concept or an object and the English word for it becomes direct and automatic. For a beginner, the process might look like this. They see a cat, they think the word in their native language, and then they consciously translate it to cat. Someone who thinks in English sees a cat and just thinks cat. The intermediate step is removed. It's a sign that the language is becoming deeply internalized, moving from a subject you study to a tool you use naturally.
So it's about building a direct highway in the brain between the thing itself and the English word, instead of taking the scenic route through your first language.
Exactly. That's a perfect analogy. The scenic route is cognitively expensive. It takes time and mental energy, which is why learners often feel tired after speaking English for a while. Thinking directly in English is far more efficient. It's what allows for fluid conversation, quicker reactions, and that feeling of truly being yourself in another language.
That makes so much sense. So for our listeners who are stuck on that scenic route, what's the first step towards building that direct highway?
The very first step, and perhaps the most powerful, is to start a simple internal monologue. This is a private, safe space where there is no pressure to be grammatically perfect. The goal is to create the habit of using English as the language of your thoughts. Start with your surroundings. Right now, as you're listening to this, you might be in a room. Just look around and name what you see, but do it silently. In your mind. Computer, desk, window. The sky is blue. My cup is empty. It doesn't have to be profound. It's about making that direct connection.
So it's like narrating your own life, but just for you. I love that. It's low pressure. Could we model this for our listeners? Maybe describe what you're doing right now as if it were your internal monologue?
Of course. So right now, I'm thinking, I am sitting in a comfortable chair. I can feel the microphone in my hand. It is cool and smooth. Ben is asking a good question. I am thinking about my answer. I am smiling. The light in this room is warm. It's simple, present tense, and observational.
That's fantastic. It's so basic, but it really illustrates the point. Listeners, you can try this right now. Just pause for 5 seconds and name 3 things you can see. Go on, try it. Welcome back. How did that feel? A little strange, maybe? But that's the very beginning of building that new mental habit.
Anya, let's get even more practical. If internal monologue is day 1, what might day 2 look like? How can our listeners actively practice this?
A wonderful next step is what I call the "What am I doing?" challenge. This is where you take that internal monologue and apply it to actions. The next time you're doing a simple, routine task, making coffee, walking the dog, washing dishes, I want you to describe your actions to yourself in English, in the present tense.
Okay, let's try it together. Let's pretend we're both making a cup of tea. We'll narrate it. Ben, you start. Okay, I am walking to the kitchen. The floor is cold on my feet. I am turning on the light. I am opening the cupboard. I am taking out my favorite mug. It is heavy and white.
Perfect. I am filling the kettle with water. I am listening to the sound of the water. It is loud. I am placing the kettle on the stove. I am turning the knob. I hear the click and the flame appears.
I am waiting for the water to boil. I am feeling impatient. I can hear the kettle starting to hum.
Excellent. You see, Ben, we are using simple vocabulary and grammar, but we are forming complete thoughts directly in English. We are not describing a process. We are experiencing it in English. This is the key difference.
That was actually really effective. It forces you to be in the moment and to access the vocabulary for everyday items and actions directly. I can see how doing this daily would build a whole library of readily available English connected to real-life experiences.
Precisely. And once that feels more comfortable, we can add another layer, opinion and emotion. This is where you start to truly personalize language. It moves from the mug is white to I love this mug because my friend gave it to me, or this tea is too hot. I feel frustrated.
That's a big jump. That requires more complex sentence structures and emotional vocabulary.
It does, but it's what makes the language yours. You don't have to be complicated. Start with simple frames. I like this because, or I don't like it when, or this makes me feel. For example, if you're stuck in traffic, your internal monologue could be, the traffic is very bad today. I feel annoyed. I'm worried I will be late. I hope it moves soon.
So you're advocating for complaining in English. I think our listeners will love that.
Absolutely. Any emotion is valid fuel for language learning. The point is to connect the English language to your genuine feelings and reactions. This builds deeper neural pathways than just memorizing lists of vocabulary ever could.
Let's model this. Anya, describe the room you're in, but add your opinion or feeling to it.
Okay. This studio is very quiet and peaceful. I like the calm atmosphere. The chair is incredibly comfortable. I feel relaxed and focused. I am enjoying this conversation with Ben.
I'm blushing. Okay, my turn. The sound of my own voice in these headphones is always strange to me. I'm not sure I like it, but I am happy to be here. I'm learning a lot from Dr. Sharma. This topic is fascinating.
Wonderful. You incorporated a slight negative opinion, a positive feeling, and a value judgment. Fascinating. That is a rich internal monologue. This is the level we want to aim for.
This is all great in theory, Anya, but I can already hear the listeners' objections. What about when you don't know the word? Doesn't that break the whole process? You're trying to think in English, and suddenly nothing. A big blank space where the word should be.
The dreaded mental block. This is not a failure, Ben. This is a golden learning opportunity. When your mind goes blank for a word, you have two fantastic options. Option one, describe it. If you can't remember the word for bookshelf, your thought becomes the tall wooden thing where you put books. You are still thinking in English. You are using the language to solve a problem.
Oh, I love that. So the process doesn't stop. You just get creative.
Exactly. Option two, make a mental note to look it up later. Your thought becomes, I need the word for that thing. I will check it after this. The crucial part is that the thought process itself remains in English. You are not switching back to your native language to complain that you don't know the word. You are managing the gap in your knowledge using English. This is a huge victory.
That is such a powerful reframe. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is maintaining the English channel in your brain, even if the signal is a little fuzzy sometimes. What about grammar mistakes in your own head? Should you correct yourself?
In the beginning, absolutely not. The internal monologue is a grammar-free zone. Its only purpose is to build fluency and speed of thought. If you stop to correct every verb tense, you will derail the entire process. The time for conscious grammar correction is during writing practice or speaking practice with a tutor. Your private thoughts should be free and flowing. Accuracy will come later, naturally, through exposure and practice. First, we build the highway, then we worry about painting the lines on the road.
Another brilliant analogy. Thank you for that. It takes so much pressure off. It's permission to be messy in your own mind, which is exactly what we need to become less messy in our speech.
Once a learner is comfortable with internal monologue, we can move to more advanced applications. The ultimate test of thinking in a language is using it for higher order cognitive tasks, planning, and problem solving.
You mean instead of planning my day in my native language, I should try to do it in English?
Yes, start small. While you're in the shower, try to plan your afternoon in English. First, I will finish the report. It might take 1 hour. Then I will call my client. After that, I can go to the shop. I need to buy milk and bread. You are using future tenses and sequencing words.
And for problem solving?
Let's say you have a personal dilemma. Should I take this new job? Instead of ruminating in your first language, try to weigh the pros and cons in English. The new job has a higher salary. That is good. But the commute is longer. I don't like that. The work seems more interesting. My current job is comfortable, but boring. By doing this, you are not just practicing English, you are using it as a genuine tool for structuring your thoughts. This is the deepest level of integration.
That is incredibly powerful. It transforms English from a school subject into a genuine thinking tool. It becomes a part of who you are and how you operate in the world.
That is the ultimate goal, Ben. Fluency isn't just about communication with others. It's about changing your relationship with yourself and the world through a new linguistic lens.
Anya, let's tackle some common challenges we know our listeners face. First one, I'm just too tired. After a long day, my brain defaults to my first language.
This is completely normal. Cognitive fatigue is real. Don't fight it. Start small. Commit to just 2 minutes of internal monologue when you are fresh. Maybe while you are brushing your teeth in the morning. Just 2 minutes. The habit will grow naturally from there. On tired days, give yourself grace. This is a marathon, not a sprint.
Great advice. Next one. It feels artificial and forced. I feel silly talking to myself.
It will feel forced at first. Any new habit does. Remember, no one can hear you. This is the most private practice there is. Embrace the silliness. The goal is effectiveness, not dignity. The feeling of artificiality will fade as the neural pathways become stronger and the process becomes more automatic.
And finally, how long until it becomes natural?
There is no single answer. It depends on your current level, how consistently you practice, and your exposure to English. But I promise you this. If you practice this even for a few minutes each day, you will notice a difference in your fluency and your speed of recall within a few weeks. The first time you have a dream in English, or the first time you curse in English when you stub your toe, you'll know the process is working.
Anya, this has been utterly fascinating. Thank you so much for demystifying this process for us. To summarize, could you give our listeners one simple, actionable takeaway they can start with today?
It would be my pleasure. My one takeaway is this. Choose one routine activity today. It could be making your coffee, your commute to work, or taking a shower. For the entire duration of that activity, your goal is to maintain a simple internal monologue in English. Describe what you are doing, what you see, and how you feel. If you get stuck, describe the word you need or make a mental note to look it up. Don't worry about grammar. Just keep the channel open. Do this for one activity, every day, for 1 week. I guarantee you will feel a difference in your fluency and your speed of recall within a few weeks. The first time you have a dream in English, or the first time you curse in English when you stub your toe, you'll know the process is working.
Anya, this has been utterly fascinating. Thank you so much for demystifying this process for us. To summarize, could you give our listeners one simple, actionable takeaway they can start with today?
It would be my pleasure. My one takeaway is this. Choose one routine activity today. It could be making your coffee, your commute to work, or taking a shower. For the entire duration of that activity, your goal is to maintain a simple internal monologue in English. Describe what you are doing, what you see, and how you feel. If you get stuck, describe the word you need or make a mental note to look it up. Don't worry about grammar. Just keep the channel open. Do this for one activity, every day for 1 week. I guarantee you will feel a difference.
One activity every day for 1 week.
That is clear, simple, and achievable. Listeners, you have your homework. Dr. Anya Sharma, thank you a million times for your wisdom today.
Thank you for having me, Ben. It was a delight.
And thank you for listening to The Mindful English Learner. Remember, the journey to fluency begins not with your mouth, but with your mind. Keep practicing, be kind to yourselves, and we'll see you next time.